Hi everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 6-inch The New Batman Adventures Etrigan and Klarion Figure Deluxe 2-pack from DC Collectibles. Now this set features the Demon and the little kid that's featured with the New Batman Adventures episode, The Demon Within. And it comes packaged in this window box with the black and blue highlights. You've got the New Batman Adventures logo on the front of the packaging. The figure's clearly displayed. Off to the side, you've got the name of the characters. It tells us this is figure number 26 in the series. And also it tells us the figures were sculpted by Irene Matar. On the back of the packaging, we just have that logo for the New Batman Adventures. Okay, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging along with the other contents. Now, before we look at the actual figures, let's take a look at the accessories. First of all, we get the figure stands. We get one for each figure like we always see with the white base, and it's got the images of the characters on it. For the Demon figure, it's just the standard clamp. It doesn't have the extendable arm, and it actually works pretty well. I've noticed that the Demon's a little bit top heavy, so you may want to use this when you display it on your shelf, and you just put the cape over it so it the cape holds it in place. So again, the stand does work pretty well with the Demon. And then with Klarion, you have the one with the extended arm, so you can do the clamp arm up and down, and you can do it forward and backwards. And Klarion doesn't need a stand as much. You know, he's a much smaller figure, but again, if you want to use it, it works pretty well. Each figure comes with 3 different pairs of hands, so the hands that are attached to the figures when you take it out of the packaging are a pair of closed-fisted for each one, and then we get a pair of open hands for both Demon and for Klarion, and then we get a pair of grip hands for Demon, and then a pair of grip hands for Klarion as well. Switching out the hands is easy, just like with all the figures in this line. You just pull out the hand's got the little peg in it, and then you just plug in the hand that you want to replace it with, and it fits in nice and tight. And then the final 2 accessories you get are episode specific, and we get the branding iron, Morgan Le Fay's branding iron, and you've got the M on the front of it for Morgan Le Fay. And this is, Klarion steals this in the episode, The Demon Within, and uses it to control the Demon. And it's done with just a gray plastic with the black on the back of the handle. So it looks pretty much like we see in the episode. And then the final accessory is Clarion's cat, Tikal, something, I forget how you pronounce the name of the cat, but it doesn't transform into a cat person like we see in the episode, but it does have articulation. You can move the head, you can turn the head, and the tail actually moves. You can wag it back and forth and up and down, and then the legs have some movement. You can move back and forth, both the front and the back legs. And the paint applications are pretty good. It's kind of a tabby orange, and you've got the black stripes, and you've got the eyes and the cat mouth and everything like you see in the episode. So again, pretty cool that they've given articulation to this cat. And even though it won't transform into a cat person, you can put it in Clarion's arms and have him carried around like you see a lot in the episode. So for the figure, starting with Klarion, I think they've done a nice job with the sculpting of this figure. He's got just this black outfit with the white collar, and you can see the little white sleeves coming underneath the coat here near his hands. And then he's got the shoes with the big gold buckle. So I think they've done a nice job capturing the overall look. And with the head sculpt, I like how they sculpted these little horns that come out of his hair like you see in the cartoon, and I like the black around his eyes, and then he's got this mischievous, devilish smirk on his face. So again, it looks very true to how he looked in the cartoon. So the figure stands just about 4 3/4 inches tall, and he's about the same height as the Tim Drake Robin figure, and in the episode they were pretty close to the same height, so I would say the scale is pretty good with these. Articulation is pretty basic. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he's got a little bit of back and forth movement with the head. Arms you can get out pretty good, and he's got decent rotation. It rubs a little bit against the top part of the coat, but overall you still got pretty good rotation. Has a single hinged elbow, so can bend his elbow about that much, and then has rotation there at the elbow. Has swivels at the wrists, but no hinges on the hands. You can move them up and down a little bit because they're just attached with the little pegs, but they don't actually have any hinges on the wrists there. And then he's got a waist swivel. He doesn't have any kind of ab crunch or anything, but he does have a waist swivel. The legs are attached with those I believe those side hinge joints, but because the coat comes down over the joints, you really can't do the splits any more than that. And then he can only get his leg forward about that much. and he can do his leg back about that much. He doesn't have a thigh swivel, single hinged knee, so he can bend his knee about that much, and then he's got rotation there at the ankle, but no hinges and no ankle pivot, and no peg holes on the bottom of it. For the demon figure, again, I think they've done a nice job with the sculpting and capturing the likeness of the character and how he appears in the cartoon. You've got basic paint applications. He's got the vinyl cape, and it's done with just a gray color, and then you've got this reddish color for the shirt and the shorts and the boots, and I like how the boots are sculpted, and then he's got the mustard yellow for the legs and the hands and the face for his skin tone, and then this white circle that attaches his cape, and then he also has these little white circles in the black. But again, overall, even though it's basic paint applications, I think they've done a pretty good job with it. I like the face sculpt with this one and how they sculpted the ears and the horn, and he's got the red eyes with the black around it, and then he's got the white teeth and just the black on the mouth. So again, I think they've done a nice job with the sculpting there as well. So Demon stands about 6 1/4 inches tall. He's a pretty good size. He's a little bit taller than the Batman figure, and he's definitely much bulkier than Batman. Articulation, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he actually has decent down movement. He can't really look up. He can just look straight ahead. You can also kind of pivot the head to the left and to the right as well. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so you can get the arm out good, and he's got good rotation there. He's got a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much, and then he's got rotation there at the elbow. He's got swivels at the wrist, hinges on the hand, so he's got good up and down movement with the hand. He has this midsection joint here at the chest, so he's got rotation there, and you can rock it back and forth. He also has an actual ab crunch type joint, so he can crunch down about that much, and then he can look back about that much. He doesn't have a waist swivel. He's got the side hinge joints for the legs, so he can do the splits good, and he can get his leg forward about that much, and then he can do his leg back only about that much. He doesn't have an actual thigh swivel, and he has a single hinged knee, and can bend it pretty good actually, even though it's a single hinged knee. And then you can rotate the feet a little bit at the boot cuff, and he's got hinges on the feet, so he's got good up and down movement with the feet. However, I do want to caution, these joints feel like they could become pretty loose, and because the figure is pretty heavy, he has a tendency to kind of fall over here at these hinge joints, so just be wary of that. And then he has no peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this set. I like the look of the Demon figure, and I also like the Klarion figure. The accessories are really cool. I like the cat, and I like that the cat is articulated. My only real complaint with the figure is with Demon, he's a bit top heavy, and those ankle joints seem kind of loose, so I have a feeling this is going to be a figure that will have a tendency to fall over. So definitely the figure stand is going to come in handy for this one. This set, which is a deluxe set, is hitting comic and specialty shops now. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.